Welcome to another edition of Cool Cars, Interesting People. You know, when you think of movies in Lethbridge, the name that pops up in my mind, at least, is the one and only Len Binning. He's the general manager, the owner, the guy that runs the movie mill. You've probably been there a few times, had a little bit of his popcorn. We're going to talk to him. He was just in a great convention down in Las Vegas, so we'll find out what the latest news is in the movie business. And today, from Mitsubishi, let's bring in our guy today. It's Blake Thibault. Blake, come on in. こんにちは、いう天気ですよね。おのまかれしなからしね、Mitsubishi からそねけど、We
don't exactly speak Japanese here, good sir.
Oh, you don't?
Not quite.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's speak in English then. What do we have here?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Final Edition. A little bit about this car to give you a little bit of a history. This is our rally car. It's competed worldwide for the last 15 years and been the champion 15 years running. This is a sequential turbo four-cylinder. Now, with a four-cylinder, you wouldn't imagine it packs quite a punch, but I'm sure I'll surprise you.
I'm surprised with the word sequential, actually. That's cool.
Right? It is. It certainly is. Yeah, now this thing boasts about 305 horsepower to the wheels. Now it's an all-wheel drive as well, so you're going to notice it has a bit of a tighter ride than most. As far as features on the vehicle, would you like me to show you a little bit?
Just tell me right here.
Yeah, simple as that. It's got a Brembo brake system, so it has some serious stopping power, as well as a adjusting suspension, which I'll show you in a minute. You'll have some fun with that, 100%.
Okay. All right. And what else?
As far as the vehicle's concerned, it boogies quite quick, man. That's all I can say about it. I mean, it likes to move. You can play with the traction as well. You can adjust it to whether it's gravel, tarmac, or snow settings. Today, on a day like this, we're going to tighten it right up so it has some really solid movement and steady throughout the turns. If you have the chance when you're driving this today, I strongly recommend some serious acceleration through turns. That's where you'll see the fun.
Tell us about the braking thing you wanted to tell us?
Yeah, Brembo brakes. So these guys are the #1 manufacturer as far as braking is concerned in the Americas. They have some very serious stopping power. Now, if you're going a $150 down the highway and turns out somebody's pulling out in front of you, you're going to have no issue slowing down. They might be red hot. I keep your hands away, but they're good. They're strong.
All right. Now, Len Binning is a bit of a big guy. Is he going to fit in here?
I would like to say yes. Now, one of my favorite things about this vehicle itself, as you can see, I don't know if the camera can quite see in there, but the Recaro bucket seats, you'll notice they're kind of set up like this to hug your body in control. Pretty soon you'll find out why.
All right. You're going to hug him. Okay, your favorite movie of all time. Go. I'm the king of the world.
No, I'm gonna go Scarface. That's the one.
Right, let's go find Len Binning. There's our man, Len.
Hey Mark, how's it going?
There you are, you old poop.
If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, but I made you some popcorn instead.
Has this got the proper canola oil on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Locally produced.
Let's go. Ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is really good. And low cal?
No cal.
No cal.
Yes.
All right. I hope they don't mind us bringing this into the smokehouse.
I'm sure they'll be fine with that.
We have for you a Mitsubishi Lancer. It wins all of the road rallies, so we're going to go all the way down Mary McGrath Drive faster than anyone.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
Okay. I'm hopefully I can speak. This will fit your bum.
Yeah, we'll see. If not, I'll just walk over.
All right. Popcorn. You don't smoke, do you?
I do not.
It's a smokehouse.
Well, maybe we can take it up. Thank you, sir.
So, Len.
We made it.
22 years now, the movie mill.
Hard to believe.
Wow.
Hard to believe.
That's just, oh, sir. Just before we have very important things to talk about, so we can't let you hear. Oh, thank you very much.
Top secret. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
Drink of choice, Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Cheers.
Diet coffee. There we go. All right. Anyway, so 22 years ago, it's Zellers, and you go in and say, let's change this into a movie theater. Take us through the genesis of all that.
We got to go way back, more than 22 years. I worked in Chinook Recreation video store.
Oh,
Video games, VHS, beta. I was there sort of when it all started, and really had a love for movies.
You were a master beta too, right?
I'm not touching that. Shacklefords, I had a lot of respect for them. I probably owe them a few dollars for sneaking into a few movies. I'm sorry, Shaq, but I've made amends. All is good, and people do it to me now. So
yeah, you're Shaq too, basically.
I've got the size of Shaq, the basketball player. Yes. But I was working in Edmonton at the time. I'd graduated from the University of Lethbridge. My wife and I were up there. We were expecting our first child. And a theater by the name of Cinema City 12 opened. They were out of Arizona area, and it was down in the Mill Woods area. And just sort of a light went on, like, wow, what a neat idea. And I'd heard of dollar theaters all throughout the U.S., often on college campuses. Right. They were $1 or $2, and they were filling the joint. And I'm thinking, that's a lot of popping popcorn. You know, that's a lot of bums in the seats. And just sort of the light went on, the blinders went up, and I approached the individual, went in with my questions. Of course, I was a university graduate, so I figured I knew everything. I knew nothing. I knew nothing. But I put together a business plan I thought was great. It was about 5 pages, took it in, looked for financing. They all laughed me out. Wasn't going to happen. So I hooked up with a government agency. We took that 5 pages document, made it into about a 30-page document.
Because that's what the government
Because that's what the government loves. But changed my sort of my angle. I didn't come in with just an idea. I said, here's every penny I own. I'm putting my pennies in. I would like you to invest your pennies. Right. And I got that first investor. Once that first investor was on board, then it all just started to roll. And it was November of 1993 that we moved from Edmonton to Lethbridge, and we opened August the 12th, 1994. Wow.
This is before you could have gone to Dragon's Den. So
exactly. There was no financing we had there. It was, who do I know that might have money, and approach them, cold call them.
So how expensive is it to take Zellers, where the lowest price was the law, and turn it? I mean, because that renovations must have been nuts.
22 years ago, it was about $1.5 million. You know, you put that in today's dollars, you're probably approaching $10 million.
Wow. Yeah. And you were able to get financing for that?
We sort of did a third investment, a third bank financing, and a third from the landlord. Well, the landlord went broke, and so we ended up getting free rent instead of money from the landlord. So we were double financing in those early years.
Gosh.
And it was a little rough going.
So you had to say, this is going to work. I believe this is going to work. It's going to work.
I was young enough, and believe it or not, people like Peter Pocklington were not heroes of mine, but people I looked up to and said, you know what, they took a chance. And I thought, I'm young enough that if I fall on my face, I can pick myself up. And as Chumbawamba says, I get knocked down, but I get up again. But we didn't think that was going to happen. My wife's also college educated, and we both jumped in, both feet, and touch wood, whatever the story is, we were successful almost from day one. As a locally owned movie theater, we made headlines across the country. We were in Canadian business. We were front page cover. We were we were interviewed all across the country. I had inquiries from all over the world because we were taking on the big boys. Not that this hadn't been done before, but it hadn't been done on an independent level. And we really broke new ground, and fortunately Lethbridge has been good for us.
I mean, but you still don't take first-run movies, right? You're close to first-run.
We have the occasional opportunity, probably 2 or 3 times a month at least, of picking up smaller films that the downtown just chooses to pass on, and so we take those as a first-run opportunity. But yeah, we're sort of that leftover market. We're second run, and so when something finishes downtown, we then have the opportunity to play it for less than half the price. And people love movies on the big screen. They've been loving it for 100 years. And, you know, we've seen black and white TV, color TV, we've seen beta, VHS, we've seen disc, Blu-ray. All of those were going to destroy the movie industry. We've seen Netflix. Probably our biggest challenge to date is Netflix, and piracy is probably our biggest issue.
I know you've mentioned that to me many times.
And it's funny how many people... And how many people think nothing of it? They wouldn't walk into Walmart and pick up a movie, put it in their pocket, and walk out. But they have no problem anonymously clicking and streaming it. They say, well, in Canada, it's technically not illegal to stream because I'm not downloading. But you're still taking money out of the mouths of people who worked on that film, little local owners like myself, the 30 people I employ, maybe I can only employ 29 now.
Yeah,
because
that makes a
you know,
difference.
in all honesty, you think you've done no harm by by clicking. If you don't want to see it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But wait and do it legitimately. That's my plea and always has been.
Yeah. So were you a big movie fan to begin with? I mean, is that something that you just
Very much so.
loved? So it helped.
It helped. There's no question. Movies always has been a source of my entertainment. I'm not a bar hopper or anything like that. So movies was my evening's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I've always loved the theater. I still always do. You'll see me at my theater often 2 or 3 times a week. Early morning, I'll go in when the crowds aren't there, and from 10 until noon, I'll be screening something privately. I travel to conventions regularly. I travel to Calgary regularly, and pre-screen probably 75 to 90% of what comes. That's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm always scouring journals and online opportunities, reading reviews, and trying to find those little gems, those little independent films that don't get an opportunity to play on the big screen, but we get them to do well. A couple I can think of, Napoleon Dynamite was one.
Oh, right, yeah.
It didn't play downtown. We did monster business with it. The Nixon movie was another one. There's always half a dozen a year that we've got a Western playing right now called Forsaken with Donald and Kiefer Sutherland.
Right.
Not the greatest movie, but it's filmed in Springbank, Alberta. It's got a local flair to it, and people love Westerns. And my crowd appreciates that, and I appreciate that we can do something for them. This weekend we've got the Smalls, punk, metal, country wannabe group, not wannabe group, Core Blunt, exactly,
Boys,
out of the Tabor area. They've got their reunion tour they did about a year ago, and they filmed a documentary called Forever's a Long Time. And it plays Friday night and Saturday night.
Of course, this will
air after. So
that was great. That's fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, it played last week, but it was a great opportunity to highlight local and to showcase local. And we're always open to that. And we love to do things with schools and charities and groups. And I think that's why we've succeeded in the community, is because we're part of the community.
And you give film, I mean, the film has to have a certain level of excellence for you to play it at the movie mill. Not any filmmaker can say, "Hey, Len, I did a movie with my BlackBerry and I'm really good." But you give opportunities to people,
we do.
Who have done movies, who've spent time, to have a venue for that, right?
You know, we love the opportunity to. I think that was my phone. I'm going to turn that off.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well,
I thought I had turned it off. I'm glad you're editing this, right?
No. This is it.
This is all live.
Yeah,
okay, good. Well, we'll just continue. Mark, we love the opportunity to help out local filmmakers. And, you know, we've done that with Mr. Olson from the university, a few others.
Which was a decent movie, by the way.
It was a great. He's done a couple movies, did well. Where Is Home, the documentary on the homeless plight in Lethbridge. We aired that a couple of times, you know, to sold out crowds. And it's not always about making money, but I'll be honest, at the end of the day, I still got to pay for the lights and the labor and whatnot. So a movie's got to have an ability to make $1.
Sure.
Sometimes it only makes $1. And, you know, that's okay sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not all about blockbusters. It's about keeping people happy, keeping people interested and excited about that big screen, that larger than life communal experience.
And you're one of the brethren of movie makers too. You know, you're together. This is, you know, you're working with each other.
And that was, never shouted as loud as it was this last year in Vegas. Here, just got back a couple weeks ago at CinemaCon, and we had directors. We had James Cameron, J.J. Abrams, Todd Phillips, a number of big directors, 60+ actors, and they were all reiterating that point. We make movies for the big screen. So, why are we in such a rush to make the movies into television? And that's their feelings on the streaming thing and piracy. And I can watch it on my phone or my tablet, but why do we want to take that huge experience? Why do we want to turn the movies into television? We don't. We want to keep that sanctity, that beauty of the movie theater experience. It's a communal shared event. Horror movies are more terrifying. Comedies are more funny. Is that proper grammar? They're funnier, whatever. It's great. Sometimes the reaction of others in the crowd is enough to really heighten that experience. Now, mind you, I hate the kid that's kicking the seat behind me or the people who are cell phoning. I'd like to strangle them. Okay, don't put that on tape. But
no, put it on tape.
It is aggravating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish that people went to the movies, that they would just simply escape for 2 hours.
For sure.
Put that phone away, turn it off. Unless you're on a heart transplant list, there's nothing real important in life that you can't put that phone away for an hour and a half.
I was on the transplant list,
And I
but
missed
Len
it.
told me to take my phone off. I didn't make it. Anyway.
And I'm dead now.
No. But I want to talk about that convention. How cool is that for you? Because you don't really get, you don't get one-on-ones with some of these stars, but you get to be within, in elevators with them, I guess. Every now and then.
A funny story, Harrison Ford, who is a little guy, actually, you'd be surprised how small Hollywood is.
Oh, really?
Other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who I did high-five. That's a story unto itself. But
cool.
Harrison Ford pushed my wife out of the way. We were waiting in line to get into an event, and he was very rude, and she got pushed out of the way. And
he put the force on her.
He laid the force on her, absolutely. But we've ridden in elevators with Will Arnett, with Walter Matthau, with John Lithgow.
That's kind of cool.
I've sat next to Jeremy Renner. I've sat next to Christian Bale.
Well, the Batman. Did he talk like that?
Yes, he did.
All right.
It was very annoying. But generally, we're in an auditorium. The Hollywood studios are presenting. They're celebrating what's gone on in this current year, but they're celebrating what's coming up. And to introduce those films, they bring the stars. And so we had the entire cast of, drawing a blank here, Suicide Squad. So the entire cast of Suicide Squad was there, including Jared Leto and Will Smith and Margot Robbie and a number of others. The entire cast of Ghostbusters, Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, really? I'd love that.
It was great. And the entire cast of the new Independence Day film coming out this summer. So those are entire casts.
Like Independence Day 2?
Independence Day 2.
Wow. Will Smith?
No, Will's not, but his son.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. And it looks good, actually.
So what's the whole purpose of you being there? What does this do? Does you learn?
We learn, we get reinvigorated, we get excited. They blow smoke up our behind. Yeah. There it is, right there.
Good thing we're at the Smokehouse.
We're at the Smokehouse, exactly. No, they're there to sell their product. They're there to thank us as theater operators. Okay. It's a lot of the independents go, and it's our once-a-year opportunity for the studios to give back to us. Yep. And so we're in rooms with, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt came out and talked to us one-on-one. They threw the teleprompter away and they just talked with us. We've had Morgan Freeman, we've had Clint Eastwood, we've had some of the biggest stars this year. Stallone was there.
I love Stallone. I wish he would have won best supporting actor.
I was disappointed that didn't happen.
I did
I mean, the guy who won was fantastic, Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
And he was there. It was Eddie Redmayne, right?
Sorry, okay, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah,
Let's not even just edit that part out. But yeah,
He thinks we edit this.
It is live and in person. Crap. So crap. If it ain't Scottish, it's crap. So.
Let me tell you. So, at the top of your head, right now, before just as it comes to you, this past year in the last 6 months, best movies you've seen. What's been really first and foremost?
We had an opportunity to pre-screen Captain America: Civil War. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Marvel, it is superheroes, but it took a little darker edge this time around. I thought it was well done. I mean, if I look back in the last few months, I simply loved the Kevin Costner one, McFarlane USA, the running film. Yeah. That was probably more like a year ago.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I see so many movies.
You forget what they are.
It almost becomes a toilet bowl theory. You've seen it, flush, it's gone, and what's the next one?
Yeah.
I can certainly sit back. I mean, if I think of all-time favorites, The Shawshank Redemption is near and dear to me. The Empire Strikes Back is near and dear to me. Number 2 in that series. It was a young, impressionable age when I saw it, and it just had that impact on me. Certainly was pleased with the Force Awakens recently. I thought J.J. Abrams did a good job on that. But
what did you think of the movie that won best movie this year? Was the Catholic Spotlight. What did you think?
Loved it.
I did too. Actually.
Powerful sucker punch when it was done, and just like you were almost ill seeing all those names of all those cities where the same problem has gone on,
and beating out the Reverend.
Revenant. The Reverend, yes. We've had it called many things. I'm not a Leonardo fan, and when he got up on a soapbox and saved the world, and the environment is this, and those are all important things, but I didn't think that was the right venue for him to voice those concerns. But I didn't think The Revenant was Best Picture worthy. I thought the director was phenomenal. I thought the cinematography was amazing. But in terms of a story, loved it. Anything that has a true element element to it, I'm a sucker for.
Yeah.
I love true stories,
Yep.
and that's where I think Hollywood will never run out of ideas as long as they keep showing us the true stories. I love the Jesse Owens story we had there just a month ago, Race. One of those little independent films didn't open downtown. We did great business with it, and people appreciate those true stories. They
I know
just
that
hit home.
a couple of movies are being shot right now in Boston during the Boston Marathon.
Yes.
The Boston Marathon, so that'll be something to look forward to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I've got here. Are you ready for this? Test time.
Uh-oh, crap.
You're a movie guy. These are the top 5 movie quotes according to whatever they call
I'm
it.
gonna fail.
No, I mean, you'll probably get the movie, but I want the name of the character, and I want the actor who said the words. All right, first one. This is actually number 1. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, Gone with the Wind.
Yep.
And it was, I can see his face. I don't remember the name.
Oh my gosh, Rhett Butler was the character, and Clark Gable. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
That was The Godfather, and that was not De Niro, but it was, and I can see his face again. I'm gonna fail miserably on this.
How come you don't know these things? It's Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. There you go.
Okay, he was doing Vito Corleone. Okay,
Yes.
number 3. You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it. I could have been a contender.
Is that not De Niro? No.
No, we just talked.
You got to be editing this and feed me a line on that one.
Marlon Brando, he did that as well.
Brando again?
Okay, here we
Give me
go.
Brando, he's way before my time.
Here's one that was way before your time. I got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Dorothy, The Wizard of Oz.
Good. Judy Garland.
Judy Garland.
And finally,
Crap.
here's looking at you, kid.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yes.
Did I get that one?
What was the movie?
Casablanca.
Good. What was his
I
character?
don't remember the character.
Rick Blaine.
I'm not 90 years old. Come on. You know?
All right.
Give me a Napoleon Dynamite quote or an Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Stallone. Come on, you know.
Speaking of Schwarzenegger, is he done in Hollywood?
I think he is.
Yeah, because he's just, I mean, this is supporting.
They claim they're going to do some more Terminators, but the last reboot a year ago did not meet expectations.
Yeah.
So he's doing video games right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So he's
looks kind of fun.
Guy's got to eat.
Guy's got to eat. Absolutely.
Who's your favorite actor right now? These in current times.
Eddie Redmayne's actually pretty good. He's pretty amazing. His what he's done. And I won't say he's my favorite actor, but I have a whole different point of view after meeting Keanu Reeves this last time.
Has he got a new movie coming out?
He's got a new movie, John Wick Part 2. It's a violent. The body count is high, so it's not for everyone. But he's got some personality and some ideas, and he's got some intellect that just really caught me and my wife off guard. That.
So is there a
Morgan Freeman?
Hands
hands down. Love that guy. Anything he's in, just as gold.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. I mean,
the Penguins will be here. No, that's terrible, Morgan Freeman.
not one of his better movies either.
Yep.
But
is there any kind of movie that you'll say there's not a chance in hell we'll run this? I mean, and avoid. I mean, like porn, obviously not. But anything that you say this is the topic, I can't.
You know, what's interesting, as much as we're considered to be a religious theater, which we're not.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Southern Alberta, and well, you play faith-based movies. Well, they do well, so why wouldn't I play them?
So it's a capitalist-based movie.
I have played, I think, every subject matter known. A lot of those little independent films, like we played Carol, which was about a lesbian relationship.
Yep.
We played The Danish Girl, which was about transgender. Yep. We don't hold back from that. Yep. I mean, if I know the subject matter ahead of time, I'll maybe put additional warnings out there. Yep. But it's not up to me to be censor.
Yeah.
We played The Interview a year ago. That was the terrible movie. It was funny, but I mean, hey, Korea was going to end the world because of it, supposedly. And all of the theaters around the world said we won't play it.
Yeah.
Well, we did play it.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we weren't bombed or we didn't blow up. But no, other short of, I guess, pornographic or something against children, I don't think there's a subject matter that we would shy away from.
Sure.
You know.
Let's talk about the 3D side of things. What are they saying about 3D in theaters now? Is it a go? Is it not worth it? Is it going to get 4D? I know there is 4D. I think.
There's 4D and there's now 4DX.
Wow.
4DX is now adding scent. Not quite smell-o-vision.
Really?
But yeah, you're getting scents. You're getting maybe mists of water. If you've been to Disney on some of those rides where not only will your chair vibrate and it's in 3D, but you'll get scents or mists of water coming down to highlight. I don't want to see that in a movie theater personally. The 4D, just the chair moving alone, that can be fun. It's gimmicky. But when ticket prices start hitting $20 and $25 for those gimmicks, I just can't see it. I can't justify it. 3D, I believe, is a wonderful technology. And I believe if it was free of charge, everybody would embrace it and love it. But because there's a $2 to $4 surcharge, depending where you go, we're only $2. There are some people who just disdain it. And there is a light issue. If you take your glasses on or off, the screen is a little darker with the 3D glasses on. And laser lighting is coming online where that's going to help solve that problem. They showed us some 3D stuff in Vegas that was phenomenal. But honestly, I think there's maybe half a dozen 3D movies a year that are worth seeing in 3D. The 20 or 30 they make in 3D, I won't say are a waste of time, but they don't add to the film. It's got to be done well. When it's done well, it engrosses you, it brings you into the movie, and then I think it's successful. But when it's just done as a gimmick, or if they go back after they've shot the film and said, oh, we better put this in 3D so we can make a few more bucks, that infuriates me, both as a movie lover and as a theater owner.
What about the guys that come up to you and say, I like coming to your theater because it's cheap to get in, but I don't want to pay for all of that, the food. The food is ridiculous. What are you doing to me?
You know what? And the food is ridiculous. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. But you go to McDonald's. I mean, their French fries cost them pennies to make. They charge you $2, $3, $4. So that's ridiculous as well. Profit is not a dirty word. You need profit to stay in business. I think extreme profit is a dirty word. And like I said, we were just in Vegas. I went to a couple of movies because it saves me money in Vegas.
He is
nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But know what I mean? But it was $8.69 for a large popcorn. That's US funds, so that's like 12 Canadian. And it was $5.99 for a large soft drink. So all of a sudden I'm going, I understand why people are revolting and getting upset. That's ridiculous. Even locally, we won't mention the other theater or the other venues in town, they're 10 to 30% higher than what we are. And they don't offer refills anymore, and they've gone to smaller sizes, and they're just going out of their way to upset the customer, and I just think that's wrong. But there's nothing wrong with profit. I won't back away from that. I don't think we charge excessive amounts. I think it's reasonable, but it's the film companies. Disney, for example, will take upwards of 90% of every ticket. So you buy a ticket from me for $5, $4.50 of it I've got to give back to Disney. That doesn't leave a lot to pay for my lights, my rent, my labor, my WCB, et cetera, et cetera. So the film companies have forced the movie industry to have the snack foods. And I think it's up to us to A, serve excellent quality, and B, to keep the prices as reasonable as possible. And I think we're doing that.
And keep Walt Disney alive when it comes
Absolutely.
time to
the
take
poor
him out
guy's
of the freeze.
destitute.
All right, the movie business, big scheme, 5-year plan. What do you see?
Well, there are doomsayers out there. There's the gentleman who brought us Napster has presented a new format called the screening room. And in theory, it's the ability to watch a first-run movie on opening night in your home for the low price of $50 US. It's being embraced by Spielberg and J.J. Abrams.
Really?
But the funny thing is, if you do some homework, they're both on the board of directors.
Oh,
they're
my
both
God.
getting
Really?
paid. James Cameron, 3 or 4 of the biggest directors, most of the directors and all the stars have come out violently against this. They consider this Pandora's box. Once you've taken the lid off, you're not putting the genie back in. They say, well, it won't do anything for piracy. It will. If I've got a beautiful picture on my screen, I will find out a way to capture that image with a camera, and I'll gladly pay that $50 because I now have opening day footage of Captain America Civil War, and I will either sell that to my friends or I will put it on the internet and become a hero. So there's some concern about that. Netflix is wonderful for what it does. original content and old television and series. As long as they don't try to dabble in the first run market, as long as they leave our theatrical windows alone, and by windows I mean it comes out first run and then they wait anywhere from 60 to 90 days before it hits that second stage. Yeah. Second stage being streaming and DVD and Blu-ray and whatnot. As long as they preserve that, I think we as movie theaters are the best ambassador for movies out there. If a movie has both a huge box office, then it does huge in the ancillary markets. You sell more toys, you sell more discs, you sell more Blu-rays, you stream it more often, you know, so everyone can sort of have their little area of the sandbox to play in. And, you know, and that's certainly what we came away from, that, you know, the industry will do everything in its power to, you know, maintain those windows. But we have a society that, A, they want it free and cheap because they're just so used to stealing everything. Let's call a spade, that's what it is. But they want instant gratification. They want it right now, and they want it in their car while they're driving, they want it on their phone, they want it wherever. And let's not be in a rush to make movies into television. That's, you know, so I think it's an industry that'll be around for a long time. It's been around, it's survived many things, but I think we've got to get more creative and we've got to work harder to earn the money that we have. I mean, we're at I think a real disadvantage in going up against Cineplex Odeon. A, they're national, B, they control probably 80 to 90% of all screens. It's really an unfair monopoly throughout the country, but I'm not here to whine and cry about that. But, you know, and everywhere you look, you're richer than you think. They're with Bank of Nova Scotia, or they're with every coupon or cereal box or pop can. You know, it makes it a challenge. And so we appreciate the fact that we're local and that there's a lot of people out there that appreciate local.
Yeah,
and they appreciate what we do for them, and hopefully we'll have a long relationship. That's the plan.
See you at the movies. I stole your line.
See you at the movies.